So do you go to college or do you start a business? All right. And this is not one of those BS videos on YouTube that tell you, well, you should start a business because if you go to college and you get into student loans and look how many people are in debt. Okay. It's a terrible thing. Well, why don't you talk about all the people that start businesses and they actually fail and they give up and now they're stuck because they never achieve anything and now they have a whole bunch of bills and now they're just like, oh crap, I can't do anything right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be biased and I don't want to say nonsense because here's my thing. I'm not like every other person on YouTube, and here's the reason. Because I actually did both. I actually started a business and actually went to college. And a quick story, when I was in high school, right? And here's the main thing, right? If you go to college or if you start a business, there's only one thing that's going to happen. You either succeed or you fail. And the worst thing that can happen if you go to college, if you don't, is that you either go to college, you get a job, which is great. That's the whole part of it. It's like a job training video, whatever, or you go to college and you don't get a job, right? But if you do the foundation, you do the core things and the core principles that actually get you to where you want to go, then you're good to go. If you go to college for a career that's not in demand and you don't find a job after, you knew the risk, right? You knew the risk and you assumed the risk, and now don't complain about college because you are the person that made the decision of not going to college, okay? Well, you made the decision of going to college and picking a career that wasn't in demand. So what do you expect? You know, the economy is all about demand and supply. If you have all the supplies for something that's not in demand, who the heck cares? You might have all the skills, no one cares. And here's my thing. If you start a business and you fail 11 times because you're hard-headed and you don't want to learn from people that actually succeed in business and you want to use a whole bunch of old methods and stuff like that, then if you keep failing and you go into debt and you start getting unhealthy and all these things start happening and things start falling around your life, then guess what? It's not the business fault. It's not the economy fault. It's your fault because you're not learning and you're not innovating. So that's the main thing. I don't want to place any blame on any of these things because it's very important to understand that there's a right way to do it. There's a bad way to do it. Okay. And here's a story, right? When I was in high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, right? Because when I was a kid, I was doing a lot of things and I actually knew what I wanted to do. But by the time I got to high school, like 12th grade, they already sucked the soul out of me. It was already like, oh crap, I don't even know what I want to do. Because every ounce of me want to do something, they took it out of me from the very get-go. So here's the thing. When I was in high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So what I did was this. I contacted someone that's kind of like a mentor for me, but I really don't talk to him that much. And I asked him, hey, what do you think I should actually go into college? I don't know what I want to do. He told me, well, Tommy, just pick something that's in demand and will be in demand for a very long time. And I said, well, what career is that? He told me, why don't you do accounting? Accounting is great. First, I wanted to do international business. That didn't work out. But I said, all right, I'll do accounting. So I took an accounting course before I actually went to college. I did great. I liked it. I said, all right, I can do this. That's fine. I went to college. I got a bachelor's in accounting, right? And while I was in college, and I assumed over $23,000 in debt. So I'm part of that statistics, okay? I'm part of statistics. I actually only went into debt for around $13,000, and then I took around like $10,000 out of a loan from college to actually start my business. By the time I graduated, I was already making more money than all the people in my school without anyone really knowing. I asked a whole bunch of my friends. I told them like, hey, do you want to go ahead with me and start this business? Do you want to help me? Do you want to do this? People said no, you know, and that's how it works. No one wants to trust someone that's inexperienced. Now, lucky for me, everything worked out because the business that I chose, it was in demand, and the career that I also chose was also in demand. So when I graduated, I got this random job. I didn't like it. I quit in the first 2 weeks. Why? Because I knew that's not what I wanted to do. Now, a whole bunch of my friends, because I don't want to make it seem like, oh my gosh, you know, you're such an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is such a good gene, like blah, blah, blah. It's not a fucking gene. It's not a gene. Okay? It's not a gene. It's not something you're born with. It's something you kind of just grow into. And you can kind of tell by your experiences. Like when I was a kid, I would go around my school. I would sell paper planes. I was like, I was like 10 or 11. I would sell paper planes to the kids in like first grade for like around $5 to $1 with my friends. And we would make boats and paper planes. We would sell it for $5. We would make so much money, okay? And then also I would sell around bootleg DVDs when I was like in high school. You know, I would sell DVDs all around my high school. I would come home, I would burn the DVDs. And now, by the way, don't try to get me to jail. I'm already like past 18 years. You can't commit me on this crime, okay? Well, I used to sell DVDs and I used to make money doing that too. So I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but every single teacher that I had said, yo, you need to stop doing that. That's not good. That's not good. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So eventually, it took me a while to actually get here to this point. And it actually took tragedy for me to actually get to this point, okay? Because when my dad passed away, that's when I actually decided to say, you know what? Life is short. Screw everything. I'm going to do what I want to do. You know, who the f- cares? You know what I'm saying? Who cares? You know? So I did what I wanted to do, and now I'm here. So everything I'm about to tell you is coming from a place of experience. It's coming from a place of, I know what you've been through. It's coming from a place that tells you like, hey, maybe he's not just BSing me. You know what I'm saying? So here's my thing. If you want to go to college, here are the pros. If you want to start a business, here are the pros, right? And I'm going to mention every single detail. Here's the thing. If you want to go to college, and the reason that's stopping you from going to college is every single other person that's out there, entrepreneur, gurus, and stuff like that, telling you, well, if you go to college, you're going to get into debt. Don't do it, okay? Bro, starting a business and taking out loans is like 10 times more riskier, okay? Because if your business fails, there's no way for you to actually earn that money to pay the loan unless you get an LLC. But let's skip that for now, okay? If you want to go to college and what's stopping you is this loan period, right? This loan thing. It's like such a big hurdle. Here's my thing. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. And I want you guys to stop thinking like every single other person out there. Loans are not a bad thing. You need to get into debt. And I don't care about what Ramsey says. I don't care about what any person says out there. It doesn't matter. If you go into debt for the good reasons of like having an investment, if you go into debt for investing, right? And you're going to get a good return on your investment because you did the work the right way. Before you went to college, you asked yourself this, well, what job is in demand? If I become an accountant, I will have a job. If I become a therapist, I will have a job. If I become a psychologist, then I probably won't have a job because it'll be very hard. Now, if I become a business manager, business management, this is like one of the worst majors in college. Do not do business management unless like your dad is rich and you need to manage his business. This career does not pay you any type of money unless you get it from Harvard, Baruch, Columbia, all those fancy colleges. But if you get it from a regular college, because when you go to get this job and they tell you, well, what did you major in? Well, I have a major in business management. Well, what do you know? Well, I know a little bit about marketing. Okay, what do you know about marketing? Do you know social media? Well, not really. You know, it just doesn't matter. Like, make sure whatever you go into college for is actually something that you like, right? But it's actually something that's gonna make you money and that's gonna be able to pay back those loans, because that's the risk. You know, if you get something, if you get into loans, then you might as well be able to get a career that makes sense. And if you go ahead and you want to take the risk of saying like, I just want to do something I'm so passionate about because it's so important to me, and everyone on YouTube says that if you do what you love, then you're going to be so much happier. It's true, but eventually it will become a job. The reason that people say that you got to do what you love is because eventually, you know, you probably won't make any money. You probably are going to have a hard time. So if you care about the thing, right? If you care about what you're actually going forward to, then those things won't really matter. Well, what's actually going to push you forward and forward is because you actually like what you're doing. So it's not as much as doing the best thing that you're most passionate about, but it's more as doing something that you at least care about in some way and can find some type of way to actually relate to it, right? When I did accounting, I didn't like it, you know what I'm saying? But I knew I wanted to learn about finance and freedom. So I did that because of that reason. And that's the way I innovated around it and made something that I didn't like so much, something that I actually liked and can make me money. So don't just be like lazy and said, I want to do something that I really love, and then don't get a job and then complain about student loans. And by the way, for all the people out there that are telling me, well, Tommy, student loan is serious, you know, because the average student has like 33K in student loans. Here's my thing, guy, right? Let's do some quick math, because I do math to back up what I'm saying. If you go into the right career, right, and you make around $60,000 after you graduate with a bachelor's, right? No associates BS, because if you're going to college, you got to go all the way to at least your bachelor's, okay? Because associates is like new high school degree, okay? So if you go to college and you have like this standard of $33,000 in debt, and you get 10 years to actually pay it off, 10 times 12, that's 120. You get 120 payments, right? Because you got to pay it on a monthly basis. Well, this divided by 120, the payments are $275. Bro, if you're getting paid, right? So let's do the math. Let's do another math, right? We got $275 for the monthly payments. We times it by 12. That means every single year you're paying $3,300, right? If you know what the heck you're doing and you pick the right career, you're going to be making $60,000, maybe $80,000, maybe $100,000, maybe $150,000 if you want to do something that's really in demand like coding, okay? So $150,000 minus like this, it's no big deal. I actually had a friend that graduated from college. His first bonus check, he actually used it and actually cleared all of his debt. Just like that. Okay, so it's not a good excuse. Now, here's my thing. You want to start a business, right? You got to assist the risk, right? You got to understand what the risk is. Now, first of all, if you live with your parents, it's a great thing to actually do, because you don't have to worry about rent. You don't have to worry about getting some BS job. You can just worry about starting this business and putting all your focus into starting this business. That's very good. But if you're BSing yourself and then you're doing like a whole bunch of things like, oh my gosh, I got to play this, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to go out with my friends because I need a balanced life. I just want to I want to be able to work on my business, but I also want to be able to, have fun with my friends. I get it. And life is a balance. But you have to understand that if you're not working like 10-hour days, 12-hour days, 14-hour days, 16-hour days, then you're probably not going to succeed. And if you're not innovating anything brand new, well, not new. I don't want to make it seem like you got to be original. The iPhone wasn't original. Nothing is really original, okay? But if you're not really going to innovate something, innovating means like taking something that's already been done and putting your own twist on it, okay? And actually doing something that's actually in demand. So it's the same thing. If you pick a career that's not in demand, you're not going to get success. If you pick a business that's not in demand and you're not like actually fulfilling a problem or solving a problem for people, you're not going to be successful. And the risk is very high on the business side, and the risk is very high on the job side also. So here's my thing. If I want you to leave with anything out of this video, is that the key is not wondering about the loans. The key is not wondering about the risk of failing. The key is, what do you want to do? Okay? Because for me, I'm making videos every single day. Like I tell you guys, I do things by example, okay? I'm not here to BS you, tell you do something I haven't done before. I do things by example. It means that I'm on YouTube every single day for the past 3 months making $0 a day. Now, what keeps me doing these videos? Because I like doing it and because I know what I'm going to achieve if I keep doing it. You can't BS yourself. The reason I went to college was because I needed a second plan. Now, I know people out there that go to college and they get successful careers. And by the way, when I become this great entrepreneur, I'm not going to ask my kids to be entrepreneurs too, because entrepreneurship is like super effing risky. Every single person knows this. I'd rather they get good careers like lawyers, accountants, like those things make a lot of money. And listen to this, right? This is the last fact I want to tell you guys before I leave this video. 1 in 5 millionaires in America have a regular job. It doesn't come from like entrepreneurship. It doesn't come from business. You have to have this underlying factor in your cells, in your brain that tell you, well, I want to be an entrepreneur because I want to help solve problems and I want to help people, and I also want freedom. If you just want freedom, that's that one equation of you just wanting financial freedom. You can get financial freedom by having a regular job and just upping your skills. If you go to college, you get a bachelor's or master's. And by the way, don't be like one of these BS people that go to college and don't have a job. I hate those people. Now, here's why I hate them. Because it's so BS. Like, your thing is like, oh my gosh, I'm too busy. I can't have a job. It's like so hard. Like, how am I supposed to balance all this stuff? Well, you balance it when you go home and you watch Netflix like all day. Here's my thing. You go to college, you get a job. Make sure that job you get is related to your career, like an internship in a sense, okay? You do that and you do the internship, right? You do the job thing, you do the college thing, and you prepare. And by the time you graduate, you will have more experience than every single person out there. And what will happen is that you will be more in demand. So when you're making that $60K a month, and then that person that didn't do anything with their life because they were scared of student loans, that you tell them, well, it's been 4 years. Well, 3 years. I've been making money while I was going to college. I got my degree. What do you have? Well, I'm just working here for now, and I'm just trying to figure things out, you know, because it's hard. And you don't want to be that person. Just start doing action. And my entire point to making this video was to inspire action. So if you want to go to college, make sure it's for the right reasons. Don't believe all this BS like, oh, student loans, this, it's not a good job, blah, blah, blah. Don't believe none of that BS. College is a very good route for people. If you want to start a business, don't believe all the, oh my gosh, it's not successful, you won't succeed, blah, blah, blah. Don't believe none of that stuff. You got to hustle, man. That's all it is. So take action. Don't be that person that says, I'm trying to figure things out. I don't want you to be that person. Just take action. Guys, my name is TommyBryson. If you don't know me, you know me now. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and like it because it helps out the channel like crazy. And comment down below if you want me to do any other video. And comment down below if you're still gonna BS yourself. Or comment down below a plan of action to what you actually want to achieve. Don't be greedy and say, I don't want to put it down there because someone might copy me. People need to understand things, man. There's enough for everyone out there. And also subscribe to the channel if you want more videos on finance, success, and a whole bunch of other things. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time on the next video, and peace. You've got to start at the bottom if you're ever gonna reach the top. You've gotta watch your